So welcome to Physical and Chemical Properties and Changes. This is a short introduction video, and I am Mr. V, and this video is intended to supplement some textbook reading that they have to do. And after that, students will be able to identify and explain the differences between chemical or physical properties and chemical and physical changes. So let's start off with properties, and quite simply a property is an adjective, a characteristic of a substance, and a physical property is quite simply kind of a physical description. So we'll start with something that we are very familiar with, which are famous, beautiful people. And we're going to start with this one, and a physical property might be she has brown hair. If we continue on to this strapping gentleman, we could say a physical property is he has blue eyes. We could say that she has a gorgeous smile. And then we could say that he is very tall, assuming that because all models are tall. If we switch over to a chemical property, it's how something would act or behave. So just as substances can be reactive, we all know humans can act a little cray-cray as well. So the idea here is to kind of simplify the definition the textbook gave you into the fact that physical properties are like physical descriptions, and chemical properties are basically how someone or something behaves or acts. So how do we apply that to the chemical world? Well, an example of a physical property would be sulfur is yellow, or copper is shiny, or it conducts electricity. We can continue. Gallium melts in your mouth. Nope, melts in your hands, not in your mouth, pardon me. And it would say its physical property would be it has a low melting point. If we flip over to the chemical properties, we could say, for example, alcohol is flammable, or zinc metal is reactive in acid. So those are just some examples. If we switch gears to physical and chemical changes, well, we have some simple definitions here. A physical change is a change in form, but not the composition of a substance. So an example of that would be boiling water, for example. You have water in the liquid phase. As you boil it, it evaporates and turns into water in the gas phase. So we are still dealing with water though. So that is a physical change. A chemical change is a change that creates an entirely new substance. And so ideally we would get down on the molecular level to see if a new substance has been made. But there are some macroscopic hints, not proof, but hints, evidence that points towards chemical changes. And these are as follows: a color change, a gas or bubble creation, a precipitate formation, which is a solid formation, or heat absorption or creation. So those are just some hints. Now you have to be careful, because just because bubbles formed does not necessarily mean it is a chemical change. Let's take our previous example, boiling water. There are plenty of bubbles that form. However, that is a physical change. So what I have for you here are some videos that you can check out. The links are on my website. And then the last video is the infamous Diet Coke and Mentos experiment. And I want you to think based on that information and further research that you can do, whether that type of change is physical or chemical. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys in class tomorrow. Alright, take care.